Ladies and gentlemen, speech by the Civil Society Network on Economic and Social Advancement, CSNOESA, calling for 1 million signatures to demand the sack of the GCEO of NNPCL, Dr. Kyari, and to occupy NNPCL headquarters on Thursday, August the 22nd, 2024, until President Tinubu removes Dr. Kyari. Fellow Nigerians, concerned citizens, and members of the civil society, we stand before you today with a heavy heart and a deep sense of responsibility to our beloved nation. We have gathered here to address a matter of grave importance that threatens the very fabric of our society and the well-being of our people. For too long, we have remained silent, hoping that the leadership of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPCL Limited, will heed the call for transparency, accountability, and good governance. Sadly, our hopes have been dashed as we are now faced with a litany of allegations that paint a disturbing picture of mismanagement, corruption, and a blatant disregard for the directives of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The allegations against the Group Chief Executive Officer, GCEO, of NNPC Limited, Engineer Kyari, are not mere hearsay. They are substantiated by credible evidence that demands immediate attention and action. Firstly, we are deeply concerned by the incessant fuel scarcity the country has witnessed due to the failure of Kyari to address the issue of fuel scarcity. Fuel sells for as much as 1,500 naira in some parts of Nigeria, including Abuja. It is disheartening, unimaginable, and wicked that Kyari has intentionally refused that the 4 refineries should work. On his first day in office over 4 years ago, he promised that before the expiration of the President Buhari's regime, the 4 refineries will work. Over 4 years down the line, not even one has worked. Kyari is a colossal failure. Again, it is general knowledge that President Tinubu means well for Nigerians, but Kyari's disregard for President Tinubu's directive to sell crude oil to the Dangote refinery in Naira is trying to paint President Tinubu in bad light. This disregard for President's orders undermines our nation's effort to support local refining capacity and reduce our reliance on imported petroleum products. Furthermore, the revelation that NNPC Limited staff members and oil traders are operating a blending plant in Malta raises serious questions about the company's commitment to transparency and accountability. Secondly, we are appalled by the mounting allegations of fraud and embezzlement, corruption within the NNPC Limited under the leadership of Engineer Kyari. The reports of fuel subsidy scams under remittance of oil sales revenue, corruption, shady pipeline surveillance contracts, and oil theft are simply unacceptable. These acts of financial impropriety have had a devastating impact on the majority of Nigerians while benefiting only a few greedy individuals. One of the most alarming allegations is the deduction of 2.1 trillion from the monthly revenue of NNPC, which was not remitted to the Federation account. This is a blatant violation of the public trust and a clear indication of the mismanagement of our nation's resources. Additionally, the supply of adulterated or bad fuel that entered the country from 2022 to 2024, causing damage to many vehicle engines and generators, is a grave concern. These allegations of massive corruption and fraudulent diversion of billions of dollars to personal and cronies' accounts must be thoroughly investigated, and Engineer Mele Kyari should be prosecuted if found guilty. Alarmingly, there are also concerns about the lack of due process and transparency in Engineer Mele Kyari's appointment as the GCEO of NNPC Limited. His appointment did not follow due process as enshrined in the provisions of the Companies and Allied Matters Act, CAMCA. Concerning that, NNPC Limited recently transitioned to a private company in line with the Petroleum Industry Act, PIA Act 2021. It is no longer allowed to have recourse to state funds. However, NNPC Limited has failed to operate as a joint production venture, IPV, with Western Oil Majors, WOM, as required by law. Furthermore, the NNPC Limited has not been transparent in publishing its crude contracts and statements of accounts under Engineer Mele Kyari's leadership. In 2022, Kyari and the NNPC management failed to remit any funds to the Federation account for 7 consecutive months. Despite Nigerians recording 16 trillion in oil sales during that year, the NNPC did not make any remittances. This lack of financial responsibility is unacceptable and raises serious questions about the management of the company's revenues. Engineer Mele Kyari must be held accountable for these actions and provide transparency regarding the companies that received subsidy payments. The government should be interested in knowing the true nature of NNPC Limited's oil production contracts and remittances to the federal account, as well as the transparency of pipeline surveillance contracts awarded by the NNPC Limited in line with global best practices. Sadly, it is even more concerning that Engineer Mele Kyari, who allegedly shortchanged every Nigerian through under remittance to the Federation, has been allowed to remain in charge of the NNPC Limited. While heads of other important departments and the EFCC have been sacked, arrested, and probed, this raises the question of why the case of the NNPC Limited, led by Engineer Mele Kyari, is being treated differently. If the government is genuinely committed to the fighting financial malfeasance, which we know that President Tinubu has been doing very well, oil theft, dubious pipeline surveillance contracts, fuel subsidies scams under remittance to the Federation account, abnormalities, and lack of transparency in the NNPC Limited, then Engineer Mele Kyari should not be allowed to continue in his position. Under Mele Kyari's led management, there has been no significant increase in oil production and remittance to the Federation account since he assumed the position of GCEO of the NNPC Limited. Fellow Nigerians, the time for action is now. We, the members of the civil society network, on Economic and Social Advancement, CSNOESA, call on all concerned citizens to join us in demanding the immediate removal of Engineer Mele Kyari from the position as the GCEO of NNPC Limited. We are launching a nationwide campaign to collect 1 million signatures, which we will present to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as a clear demonstration of the people's resolve to end the reign of mismanagement and corruption at the NNPC Limited. Furthermore, we call for a protest that we can occupy the NNPC Limited headquarters on Thursday, August 22nd, 2024, until President Tinubu heeds the people's demand and removes Engineer Mele Kyari from his position. We urge all Nigerians, regardless of their political affiliations, to join us in this peaceful demonstration to send a strong message, that we will no longer tolerate the continued mismanagement and corruption within the NNPC Limited. Our nation's future and the well-being of our people are at stake. We cannot afford to remain silent in the face of these grave allegations. The NNPC Limited is a strategic national asset, and its leadership must be held accountable to the Nigerian people. We call on President Tinubu to take decisive action and remove Engineer Mele Kyari from the position as the GCEO of NNPC Limited. This is not a matter of political affiliations or personal interest. It is a matter of national security, economic stability, and the trust of the Nigerian people. Let us stand united, rise above our differences, and demand the change we deserve. Together, we can ensure that the NNPC Limited is managed with the highest standards of transparency, accountability, and professionalism for the benefit of all Nigerians. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.